West Airlines.
What?
And my favorite thing to check in all of the places that I live in the world, Zillow.
Zillow! I check it all the time.
Wow.
I know. All right, and that is so. Let's real quick. Let's take a moment of silence for all of these wonderful.
Pour one out, boys. Pour one out.
Yeah, that spent decades doing what Trump did in 4 hours.
Oh God.
Damn.
Don't worry, I'm with you, Rex. I made about $100 before I got scared that
Listen.
I was like, "This has got to be fake." Sold it all. Woke up. Oops, not fake.
Did
Not
you know
true.
that
Nice.
Trump bought these headsets? So
Oh, there we go.
Congratulations.
laxing on them. That's
You
all
made
they
it.
bought.
But
I've also
again,
lost
remember,
from Melanie.
this
Thanks,
is all.
bitch.
Yeah, I know, right? But this is all why you should go play My Angry Yakuza Girlfriend. Remember,
Listen.
that was an ad for My Angry Yakuza Girlfriend, a good game. Maybe it'll help you take your mind off things if you're sitting around thinking everything is crazy. Okay, what a time to be alive.
What a time.
Yeah. Sorry, Katie. I know it's crazy out there, but we're all just dealing with it in our own way. All right.
Now the vendors are happy it's down, whatever, like 50-60% now from all-time highs.
Yeah. Stream Elements is listening in. What? That's wild.
From my stream.
Katie.
I have
okay.
it saying canceling your Prime subscription, so people click on it. You know.
I love that. All right. Okay, so anyone else, by the way, we did our ad read. Anyone have any announcements, anything of that nature that they want to talk about, things that are coming up, things that people should be paying attention for? Now is your time to yeah. What's
Thanks,
up?
Trump, for these glorious headphones. I would not have been able to afford them on my own. So
Ooh.
thank you, at least for that.
Well done. I know. At least get yours out of it, right?
Listen, I didn't make $100 million. I made like $300. But you know what? That's a lot to me.
Hey, $300 is $300.
Went back into myself, so we're living
Self-investment
large.
is important.
Okay, $20 into $300. We're living.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then I lost it all on Melanie.
Those headphones are like the most demure form of self-care I've ever seen.
I needed them for work. Okay. I will write it off at the end of the year. It's
Oh,
fine.
Dan Ho, next
Yes.
week we've got Castle of Blackwater Ladies Night coming up.
We do. There we are having a Castle Blackwater's Ladies Night next week. It's on the 30th at like
8
p.m. Eastern.
So is
Let
it
me
like
go look.
$20 per guys at the door, free for ladies? Is that
Yeah,
the
Just
deal?
wear a
That's right.
wig.
Yeah.
Wear a wig. You're free to come in.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't
That's what I'm
normally
talking about.
segregate race or
it's,
genders,
That's
but
9 o'clock Eastern.
2025.
It's 2025.
25. Damn it.
Fine.
I went and looked. It's 9 o'clock Eastern.
We are there.
9 o'clock
okay,
Eastern.
so 9 o'clock Eastern. We're having ladies' night. If you want to play games with other ladies, it's a small world. There's 40% of women in gaming, 60% of men. Let's get that 50-50 and
Hey.
have a ladies' night playing Web3 gaming. So
I'll do my part by wearing a wig.
do it.
All right.
Hey, you know what? Snooch
And-
was a groundbreaker on that.
Snooch
So.
did it. He's in all
does
of our
it.
content.
She's the
There you
prettiest
go.
princess.
He wore a purple wig. Okay, we matched.
Yeah, that's my type of woman. Perfect.
Listen.
I'm with it. Any other announcements? Anything else anyone wants to talk about while we're here, real quick,
Oh,
before we break in?
before
Yes,
I break
go
in,
for it.
somebody asked where can you get these headphones. I got them on Amazon, but Best Buy also has them cheaper. So I can
Katie's
only
cheaper.
yeah.
Katie's got me locked up right now. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit of alpha to share soon. But
Katie, you messed me on the side. Katie,
especially
I
knowing
need
that
a win.
Katie's in the crowd, I like.
A win
especially
is a
I
kinda-
need a win. Give us that alpha. I need
This
a
is the
win.
problem. We have the wrong Ventnor in the audience. We need Paul to drop the alpha. Katie's gonna hold him back the whole time.
Loose lips, Paul. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Katie,
yeah.
can you take a break for just a second and put Paul on?
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
a real
If you just,
question
I
we
think
can ask him.
I think one of your kids calling from the other room, Katie, real quick. If you want to, like, I think I hear.
Is Katie
someone-
your wife, Ankles?
No.
Oh.
She's if only, right? If only.
Katie's my boss.
I like her.
But you still got him locked up.
Listen,
There's almost
know.
no difference between that and
here's
a
why I
wife.
love her. One, my maiden name is somewhere in her name, okay? So
Ooh.
that's in
Nice.
there. I love
Ooh.
it. Two, we created a Discord for our children to play games together. So we are starting the youth young in Web3 gaming as we enter them into game
Yep.
night.
Yep.
So
My son plays with her son.
I love it. When I entered, he was
Wait,
like,
wait.
"Who are you? You're sus." They were using like Skibbity Ohio Riz. I was like,
Oh,
"What
yeah.
the fuck is
Yeah.
happening?"
Yeah, there's just a lot of
Skitty.
Riz and like,
The
yeah, I don't
fuck?
even know.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, guys, I'm a parent."
Yeah. That's
It's cute.
hilarious. I did a presentation at Solana, and I was trying to talk to the Gen Zers, and so I did a lot of research. It took me about 4 hours of research to understand all of the different lingo, but every slide spoke in Gen Z. I'll share it one of these days.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
TikTok so
Um,
easy. They have old farts asking, "What does this word
I
mean?"
know.
And that's how I learned them. So
I know. It's hilarious.
Urban Dictionary.
I know. It's good. All right. Unless anyone has any further things to talk about, I think we'll dive in to tonight's session of Quick Save. Now, let's turn up the music a little bit to really set the scene. And audience members, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. After an electric night of dance, drinking, and love, where the group successfully impressed the local Food, Wine, and Blood and More magazine food critic, the night took a turn. And at this moment, I know we're all searching deep in our soul. I know a lot of you out there try to never look internally, filling yourselves with meme coin pumps, gaming tokens that are down only, too many shitty NFTs that you swear you'll give to your children in your will, but are embarrassed to say that you like it for the art. Now we come into the scene that one can only describe as horror. Nope. I'm not going to do a bit on this one. A kid everyone loved actually died in this story. So that's right. As our players were clearing away the rubble last week on the show, they saw their beloved Squiddy, a dashing street urchin. This is supposed to be serious, man. No. A dashing street urchin, skinny, but growing tall quick, dark hair, eye patch, and an undisputed leader of the Magnificent Three was found underneath the rubble before our players' eyes. Who could have done this? Why would they do this? How do we get to the bottom of this? Why are you asking me? I'm just a narrator, all right? What do you think? I sit around crafting stories, making nerdy battle maps, practicing character voices, and spending way too much time on something that should only be a hobby? No! I'm not a tough but fair, godlike DM. I'm just as invested in the story as you are. Okay, it was getting a little too heavy, so I wanted to lighten the mood a little bit. And now that I have, let's set the scene. Sheets of drizzle swirl through Tide Pool Alley, forming tiny whirlpools in every loose cobblestone. The acrid smell of smoke and burnt ozone floats in the damp air. Dozens of neighbors stand in their doorways, faces lit by flickering lanterns. Where once the cheerful hum of the electric mermaid, you can kind of still hear it bumping in the background, ruled the streets, now there's a hush, broken only by the patter of rain and the cackle of dying embers. In the center of the alley, a scorched crater streams in the drizzling. You see many bodies laying in twisted poses, collapsed near a collapsed fruit cart nearby. A halfling fiddle, half-melted string snapped, and heartbreakingly on the edge of the charred zone, you see a small figure wearing the all-too-familiar eye patch with a doodle fish on it, Squiddy. And that's where we find our player characters. What do you want to do?
I decided that we are going to use the proceeds from tonight's opening launch. I want to throw it out to everybody. We go buy a scroll of resurrection, and we resurrect Squiddy and turn him into a little mini zombie boy.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much gold you guys earn tonight. We'll have to do that. But scrolls of resurrection they're pretty pricey in this world of fantasy. So we'll have to see if you guys work your way up.
DM.
Tough but fair. Okay, tough but fair. All right. So again, there's a bunch of people around. You can see like neighbors. You can see people kind of all over the place. You see there's a tall half elf wearing a mustachioed mismatched neon leggings under a soaked flannel poncho, hair dyed teal. You can see her standing right outside of her greenhouse. She's kind of like clutching her chest and looking on, kind of sad about what's going on. You see a stylish socialite in a dripping satin jacket, wearing Doc Martens with day-glow laces. You can see her coming out of the coffee shop that's nearby. And then you also see another street urchin, not one of the Magnificent Three. This one's 12 years old, a little bit older, but he's wearing oversized flannel cargo shorts and battered sneakers. He's got like a really intense street urchin vibe, but he's got a big grin on his face. So those are three people you see around as you guys kind of are looking at this scene of what happened. And to catch everyone up, right, a gigantic explosion happened, and now this is the carnage that has existed.
Let's try to find someone who saw what happened. You guys want to each take one person, and let's shake them down.
Yeah, so Obsidian is going to go over to the street urchin. I have little doubt that I'm going to be able to get some answers from such a little guy, and the grin on his face has me thinking that he probably has some information that would be beneficial to us.
We'll see. And just to set the stage too, because I made this picture earlier using the wonderful internet. This is what happening. You guys have like your building is kind of off down to the left, that red roofed building down to the left, so it's kind of big, tall, and so the explosion happened kind of around the corner from where you guys are working. But I don't know if I can zoom on this thing, but yeah, that's what we're working in right now. Look at that, real world stuff. Okay. So Obsidian, you walk up to this scruffy little street urchin. And he's just smiling, kind of like he's like leaning up against the wall, trying to look like a tough kid, and he's like tapping his foot. Big smile.
So I walk up to him and growl in my deepest voice. You look like you've been around here for a while. What did you see before the explosion, kid?
What did I see? What's it to ya?
Ankles immediately like grabs him by the throat and like picks him up, letting him know that everything is very, very serious right now.
Come on, man! I was just sitting out here minding my own business. I'm trying to do my best going through puberty voice, by the way.
Ankles is like tapping his ankles with his giant bat. You know, like just like tapping him and looking at Obsidian. Just let me know.
Okay, man. Okay. You're gonna put me down and let me go, right?
I just look at Obsidian.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you down, but you're not going anywhere until you give us some more information.
Okay. Geez, guys. All right. So when this, I was out here minding my own business. I was just looking for, some coinage in the streets. Sometimes outside of a big party like this, some people are flipping coins, acting cool, and drop their coins. So I go and search in the gutters to see if I can't find anything. So I was looking around, and all of a sudden, that big boom happened. Oh, I hid behind the barrels right over here, and then I heard a blink, and I thought it was hail, but it turned out there was a little bit of a chain that was broken that kind of landed in one of these barrels. It it fell off that metal man that kind of ran away, and I picked it up and got spooked and kind of ran over here. And he holds out as he's like talking about this. He like holds out this necklace, and you can see this broken necklace, and it has these like red ruby type beads in the shape of flames that are kind of around it. But it appears that it had been like broken off at some point. And then it was a metal man. I don't know if he was covered in armor, but there was really weird like whirs and like clinks, and I don't know. It sounded. I don't know if you've ever been into like a steampunk workshop, but just take that sound and put it inside a body. That's kind of what it sounded like when I was listening as he was running by.
So while I'm holding on to him with one hand, I take the chain and I'm going to inspect this. Do I have any idea what this might be from?
Roll an Arcana check. Let's see. Ooh, 17. Nice. So you don't know exactly what this is, but you do recognize that it looks like there's some sort of uh, it had magical properties to it before it was it looks like it was destroyed. So usually for people who may not be spellcasters, they can wear implements, jewelry, things like that give them the ability to cast spells. And it looks like this might have been one of those things. So some sort of with gems of fire, you can assume some sort of fire-based spell was on this necklace. You also know, because that was a pretty high roll with 17, that when these items usually, so they have like charges that they can use, when they are finished with their charges, there's like a chance that the item destroys itself if you use all of the charges and you don't keep magical energy in it. So it looks like that may have been what has happened.
So,
Yes.
so I ask him, given that I'm a enormous earthen warrior covered in metal armor myself, describe if this metal creature looked anything like me or different.
No, man, you look like you look pretty cool, dude. Like I don't know, like I thought we could hang out and have a good time down at the skate park sometime if you wanted to, but I don't know, this other metal dude, he was like, I don't know, he had like weird circles on his face and his eyes had weird circles. It wasn't like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but he sounded clinky as he was running away. And he had like this really weird metal looking beard. I would have just thought it was a beard. Like, I don't know if it was like taped on or what have you, but it shined as it went by. And so that I thought was pretty interesting.
Which direction did he run?
Yeah, he ran off. If you look down over there, that's the way he ran, man. And he took off. That was probably, I know the fire explosion happened just probably like 10 or 15 minutes ago. But yeah, he took off down that way. But he was moving at I don't know, those, maybe he's like in Go Inspector Gadget legs. He took off at a pretty good clip. Inspector Gadget is now canon in this world, by the way.
Nice.
just want to put that out there.
Did
Yeah.
we? Is he like Popeye? When does he enter public domain? We can't get him on.
Yeah, oh shit. I don't know.
Anyway,
That's a good
The
point.
Matthew Broderick version that nobody talks about.
Yes.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay.
They can't sue us. Okay. So I'm gonna look at ankles. Anything else you want to ask this kid before we let him go?
Fuck this kid, and I like toss him.
Oh man, I thought we were gonna go to the skate park together, dude. What are we talking here?
Wait, do we still have the necklace?
Yes. I'm
Yes,
still
he
holding
handed the necklace.
Okay, good. Okay.
Well, whatever, dudes. And he picks up a stick to make it look like a cigarette, and he like throws it down,
Forget I'm
snuffs it out, and
munching
turns
over
and
here.
walks away. He's like,
Jordan.
Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Oh my god, what a
An-
freaking crew.
Ankles picks it
I
up
know.
and finishes the cig in
Like
one rip.
VTuber. Also, I
It's a
know.
twig,
Like,
man.
is that not
Yeah,
wild?
well, that's I'm smoking the twig.
Liza, you know, like,
He's trying to
I
reduce
went
his
up to,
tobacco intake.
our poor dead boy Squiddy, and I pick him up and I just comb his hair back and clean him up a little bit, and I pick him up and I walk towards the older lady who was kind of just looking, and I say, do you know what happened to this boy?
What's up,
We're his caregivers, and we're really heartbroken over this. And do you have any information? Did you see what was going on?
I'm so sorry if you knew that boy. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. It's been it's been so scary what's happened tonight. But yeah, I feel like I think I saw everything. I was just in here in my lovely greenhouse growing my plants, having a good time, prepping to miss my night bloomers. But then I heard a loud whoosh.
I'll have to
And I
tell
looked
him. I
down,
think you're on my stream.
I swear, I saw
I'll tell him you
what
love
looked
the
like
hat. We all
maybe a
let him know
guy wearing
beforehand.
armor. I don't know.
He said it was his
Maybe
flirt.
something more like a living statue. Have you ever been like in a really public but famous place and they have like street performers out there and they're all painted a certain color and they all move kind of weird or they sit really still, but actually underneath it's a real human? Yeah, it was kind of like that, except probably not a real human underneath. It was probably like a, I don't know, metal man. But it after that big explosion, it jumped down into the rubble. And if you see over there, I don't know, there's some gnome on the ground. It was rustling through the pockets, and it looked like it snatched something. And then it scampered up over that street over there, and I don't know. Have you ever seen that show, Inspector Gadget? We're leaning in real hard on this one. It just Inspector Gadget right away down that alley over that way. But
Oh, they
my plants, they really didn't like it. They didn't take to that explosion. It's really
so
trying
they
out the
were,
humidity in the air.
so I point. So those dead gnomes there, that metal man, he rummaged through their things and then he took off. Do you think
Yeah,
this
it
was murder?
seemed like, I don't know. I'm just a lovely plant grower over here. I don't get too mixed up in the goings on of the Undercity, but yeah, it seemed like there was something specific that this metal person was trying to do
Thank
or
you so
trying to
much.
get.
Could you point out the gnomes that I guess the ones that are blown away? I guess we should just check those guys out, eh?
Yeah, it was if you look under to the left of that one burning rock right next to the other burning rock, behind that third burning rock right over there. Check under that one. That's kind of where he was digging around.
Okay, fantastic. I relay the information to Obsidian Ankles. I go, guys, can you help move the rubble and let's check out and inspect these bodies? And I look to the ladies. I go, do you think you can go and charm that socialite and see if there's any other information we can get out of these witnesses?
I was actually going to take the necklace off Obsidian and see what comes up on a passive perception check.
Good question. What is your passive perception?
14.
14. All right. So you're digging through. You're looking at it. You're checking it out. It does look like where the latch is, like where a latch normally is on a necklace. It looks as if it kind of exploded. There was like a small amount of soot and fire around it. So it's not as if like someone like snagged it on a chair or a door handle, which I've definitely never done with my wife's jewelry, and like it ripped and broke on the way out of a door. It actually looked like some sort of magical essence has like exploded this thing. As you're digging through, the one thing that's weird to you, right, is like normally if someone's wearing a necklace or whatever, especially like, I don't know, sometimes hair can get tied up in it. I don't know. I have short hair, but like things like that happen. You don't notice any of the normal things that like a human being wearing a necklace might have, other than the fact that, fiery gems, it's kind of like it's a necklace, so it's something that people would wear. Normally dogs wear collars, that kind of stuff. So nothing like substantial stands out to you.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Anything else?
Now I can go to Khaleesi to charm the socialite out of their pants or whatever.
Ankles kisses his biceps before he offers his help to lift up whatever we need to lift up.
Obsidian also kisses Ankles' biceps.
I slowly caress his bicep and say, "Get to work."
We're all like hanging there.
Yeah.
Drink to that.
Whoop.
So you walk up and say hi?
So I'm over helping with the rubble.
Yeah, we're on the
Yeah.
rubble. Vicinia is saying hi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Darling, hello. Oh, what a night it's been. Do you happen to have an aperitif or a cosmopolitan? A man needs a beverage to wipe away the memories such as this.
I'm just going to hand him some puddle water in a fancy glass.
My favorite. How do you know me so well? It's like we're brother and sister from another mother. Oh, this is fantastic. This is exactly what is ailing my woes. Did you see what happened? It was horror.
Tell me your side of it.
Oh, I can hear those halflings' fiddles just turning to shrieks. And then I saw that puppet thing up on the rooftop. Spindly, weird, metal-covered arms, like one would say, or two other eyewitnesses to this event would say, clockwork arms. And it tossed some sort of thing down into the crowd. It was some sort of red bead. And as soon as that thing hit the ground, it shook and a fireball exploded. Oh, just to smell that smoke, the blood, the screams. Oh, please, more puddle water, please.
Have that.
And then you can see almost like as it's like drinking, as this socialite is drinking the puddle water. Oh, darling, this is helping me clear my memory a little bit. I have seen stuff like this. The Nimblewrights. Oh, I'd see them on the day of the big wonders on the parade last year. Oh, the rumor was that some new noble families were buying them as household servants. If you want my guess, that thing was from one of those creeps, one of those noble creeps who doesn't seem to like a good time with Sir Bastion the Bold at one of their parties. But whatever. They can keep their nimble rights, and they can keep their metal men, and they can keep their dull, unassuming, and terrible parties, while I party down here at things like the Electric Mermaid. Oh, what a night! What a night indeed.
You know what? You're on the VIP list for now.
How can you get me on a list like that?
I'm one of the owners.
Oh, darling, I knew this puddle water had an extra bit of flair to it. Oh, jeez. Thank you, thank you. Make sure to keep this name, Sir Bastion the Bold. And yes, I was knighted. That's why I put the Sir in front of my name. And my middle name is The, so let's just keep that as it will be. All right. Oh, thank you. You've really helped me out much in my day, so I appreciate the help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And he takes a big swig of puddle water, walks the other way, and you can see him in like a very jovial jaunt, like jovial jaunts as he walks away down the
Like
street.
you do.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to converse? Do you guys want to do anything? What's going on?
Yeah, let's share the information, but I'm like, how are we gonna break it to the kids? But in the meantime, I'm gonna hop over to the temple and see if the clerics can do anything for our little boy here, or at least put him to rest properly. Just feel really terrible about this. And as a former acolyte of some religious order back in my background, I think I should know where the biggest temple is, eh?
Yeah, of course. Roll a religion check, just because we can roll those things. We don't often have
Alright.
opportunities to do that.
Okay.
And I was just gonna say, like, as a dwarf, I mean, dwarves and gnomes, I guess, like regularly like live near each other. Do I like have any sort of like extra information on this like gnome construct golem creature thing? Like, do I have like just racially, like, does this sound something like that I am more accustomed to?
Roll a history check. Let's see.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to grab obsidian and point out that Sir Bastion told me that the thingy threw a bead like the ones that we have on the necklace before the explosion.
And I see, while we're waiting for the history check, Bjork rolled a 6. So, so the a nice little religion check there. Of course, you've often, Bjork, being the wayfish and loving kind of socialite that's out there, you've often discussed at length religion over dinner parties and fine dining experiences and other places where people have been, but you've never actually like been inside of a church proper. Usually whenever there's like religious ceremonies or anything like that, you find yourself sick on those days, so you're not exactly sure, but you do know that there's like this one big building that has this big hand above it, and you know that that's where some people, you've been invited to that place many a time, just haven't actually gone. And then ankles. We'll get to your history check too. History check. Your history check of 9.
Yeah.
Dwarves and gnomes are both short. That is true. In your dealings growing up, you didn't have much. You were really just in the Underdark. You didn't really like run into like fiddlesticks or boomshank or anything like that. Gnomes growing up. So unfortunately, you don't. You know that those things exist in that world. Like it's kind of like reading a fantasy book, right? Like you know that those things are out there, but you haven't to any like extent studied who might actually be practicing that stuff or doing it.
Okay.
So.
Guys, can you check if there's any information on the gnomes or the halflings, and just see if you can get any idea of their identity? If there's anything on there, I'm gonna hoof it to the religious place and see what I can do there, and ask the kids to meet me there as well. so they can say their goodbyes if that's the end of it.
I'm gonna actually go with Bjork as well. For with additional security, remembering that I actually am a former acolyte of a god in my background, so I have experience dealing with religious orders on a
What is
massive level.
what is your religious order, just out of curiosity, that you have left?
So yeah, so my my god actually abandoned the universe and has never been seen again some 20 years ago. So
I
I've
forgot
been
about this. I gotta work this into the story.
yeah, I've been yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, as you might imagine, a little bit of a crisis of confidence there. But
Right.
that said, I still maintain an important belief that doing right by other people is a critical part of who we are as beings in this universe.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. All right. So you guys make your way down to this building with a hand on top, and you walk in. As you walk in, it's a smaller. It's not a very large building. It's a smaller one. You can tell it's either one. It's a you don't know. It's either one. It's one of those churches that has been around for a very very long time. Hello. Thank you for jumping in. It's either one of those churches that have been around for a very, very long time, and so like usually you get like presidents or whatever that'll stop in on like very special occasions because it's got like this long-standing history, or it's really down on its luck and it just hasn't been able. Like most religions like they actually like can get a lot of money out of other people, so they're a good religion. So you can't tell which religion it is, but as you kind of walk in there, and inside you just see a bunch of candles in like different little sconces and candles and chandeliers. It's very candle lit. As you walk in, you see the normal dioces. You see like the chairs, the pews. You see like the big thing at the top, and you see one lonely clerk that's kind of like scrubbing with a mop on one side off. As it's other than that, it's very very empty.
I go up to the clerk. I said, "Excuse me, is there a cleric around, or could you direct me to a high level cleric? My young ward has has actually died, and I want to see if there's anything I can do for him, whether a proper burial or even possibly to do something a little bit more extreme."
I am so sorry to hear that. And he like holds his hand up above his head like that, very similar to the hand outside the statue. And he's like, "Praise be to the Lord of Dorm." And he says, "Oh, a cleric. Oh, that's I'm actually the resident cleric of this place. Come here. Let's see what we can do. I don't promise I can do much, but let's see if we can take a look and dig in. What did you say happened here?" As he like leads you up kind of to the front.
Unfortunately, it seems that he got crushed by rubble or was incinerated by a fireball spell. And yeah, we don't have much information, but
What parent or leader was letting this kid play with fireballs? You know that that's not a normal thing that
I
you let
understand
kids play
it's
with.
this very irresponsible dwarf named Ankles. Just let him go.
What
Run around,
the fuck?
put him on an errand.
You're not there. You're not there. That's
He's not
that's
getting
so
any
terrible to
love
hear.
from me tonight. That's for sure.
Yes, let's hand to the Lord of Dorm. Let's make sure that that something like that never happens again, or maybe he only gets like visitation rights, maybe once every other weekend. But it's got to be like out of McDonald's, and it has to have some other person there, just like double check that everything's okay.
I think so too. He's kind of a deadbeat. I don't expect much child support either. He hasn't been providing, so.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry that you got mixed up with this deadbeat of a father figure. So, but let's see what we can do again. Well,
Kind of having the Bjork single mom vibe, so.
she's a single mom. She's just never catches a break. All right, you need to take care of those single moms. All right, so he beckons you over to lay the Squiddy down kind of on this front DS, and you can see him. He starts collecting some little knickknacks, and he says, one thing that always helps, and again, I can't promise anything. The Lord of Dorm works in mysterious ways, but a donation to the Lord of Dorm always seems to help in times like these. Just the Lord of Dorm smiles nicely on donations.
Oh yes, absolutely. Um, I recently leveled up to level 3, so what do you call now
Level
I can.
3. That's a very interesting thing.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't.
I'm not. I'm saying this
Uh,
in my. I'm saying this to you. You know what? I can rip off the god if I really want Squiddy to live. So
yeah.
I pull out whatever coins I have. I said, these are all the coins that I do have, but then I stepped closer to him and I said, but as a single mom, I can provide other services that you know that that have worked in his favor for his education previously. Uh, so and I slowly come closer to him and you know get face to face, get my chest right up to his face, and just please do your best.
Yeah, and you see the knowing look is in his eye as he has also seen the Forrest Gump movie and knows how a mom will take care of their child. Um, and lays down and he's like, "I'll see what I can do." And he starts lighting some candles, drawing some things around, and he holds his hand above his head, similar to the kind of statue that's out front, and he's like, "Oh Lord of Dorm, those in charge of children becoming adults, throwing parties and keggers and ragers in way too confined spaces, too many bunk beds and too many STDs. Oh Lord of Dorm, please see what you can do to help." And you can see like a faint glow is kind of emanating out of the hand as this is happening. And he continues to say things about 18-year-olds going to college and spending all of their parents' money. And he puts a hand right on the chest of Squiddy at this point, and a faint glow kind of emanates through the body. And um, finally, after a second, the glow kind of disappears, and you don't actually roll a perception check. See what you see. Let's roll
Ooh,
some dice, baby.
okay, perception. Oh, my perception sucks. Come on! I rolled natural one.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, oh man.
Obsidian, you roll something
Obsidian didn't
fun.
roll much better. So, so you don't see anything. You don't see much. But what the person says as he pulls his hand away, he's looking at you, kind of somber. He's like, "The Lord of Dorm, he may have been skipping class today. Who knows? But we tried, and but what we did do is one thing. Normally, in death, the soul leaves the body to go to the ethereal plane of whichever god or existence or what have you that you believe in. Um, in this instance, luckily, it was within an hour since the death, or since the soul was starting to depart the body. While this child, the sweet child, you lonely and loving single mother who's taking care with a deadbeat father by the name of Ankles, your child is still beyond life. But the soul is still attached to the body. We have made sure that you've got more time to try out and earn more gold, figure out more ways to bring this child back to life. So if nothing else, you have bought yourself some time. Sorry the Lord of Dorm was no more help to you this evening.
Is there? I can't doubt your expertise, but is there another higher level manager, cleric, that superior that you have learned from that to assist? But in the meantime, could you keep my poor boy here while we try to figure something out? In
I will
actuality, I am a rich widow as well. From my previous husband who died, and have vast sums of money that I can provide for you, other than just personal conversation.
uh, now, of course, I appreciate the help and I appreciate the kind gift that you've given to this church. The Lord of Dorm appreciates kind gifts as always. I will embalm the body of your boy, and I will take care of it and keep it lovingly cared for. I will moisturize it at least once a day. Um, for the rest, am I in the middle of? I'm just seeing it about anything right now. Am I getting the fancy version of Karen's right now? I am the leading cleric of this building. And I don't think too kindly of thinking that someone else here can do their job better than I can. Sure, there may be other churches, the church that follows. I don't know why this is on my brain right now. The CEOs of SaaS companies is out there for sure, and other lords of that nature, and maybe you could go pray to them, and maybe they have
I
a better.
interrupt him by coming up close to him, and I put my hand on his thigh and said, "I meant no disrespect. It's just that as a grieving mother, I'm so concerned. You know, I was a little hysterical, but I hope." And I slowly inch my hand up towards his crotch. That that I know that my boy will be in great care with you, and I meant no disrespect.
Yeah, a woman, a single mother down on her time, grieving. I could never fault a woman like that. No, but I will take care of your boy for you while you're gone. Just please come back soon. I don't know how much moisturizer I have stored up. Maybe I can get some more that's uh, donated, and we'll see if we can take care of the skin of this young lad.
I say thank you, good sir, good cleric, and I give him a peck on the cheek, and I say, no need for moisturizer where we're going. I'll take you to heaven on earth in another way.
And we cut back to everyone else who's at the crime scene right now. Ready to go. What is everyone doing at this point? Out and about.
Ankles would just start trying to like follow the path of destruction. I mean, I would assume that this thing didn't leave, very carefully. So I guess I would just be trying to follow where it left.
Yeah, so as you're kind of like following down that path, you hear like a small like group of footsteps coming your way, and as you can see, kind of like marching down, you see the local city guard. There's a detachment that is arriving. They call themselves, as you know, because you've been in the city for a while, the Sharks. They all wear armor that is not unlike the towels that you can give kids to make them look like animals. And they all have it on, and you can see a couple of them in the back. They're actually like, pretending to bite each other with like shark jaws that they have on their armor. But they're probably like new. But they splash through. But then there's two that are kind of leading them. You see this one tall, gaunt figure wearing a flannel cloak, over their standard issue shark mail. And he's got his helmet in one of his arms, and he's got this kind of 90s alt rock mohawk. He's got black dyed streaks of silver in his hair, and his face is very lined with worry. And then there's one person next to him not wearing any armor, instead sporting this battered leather jacket. There's some bright tie-dye arcane symbols over top, and under one arm he clutches the soggy notebook. And despite the drizzle, he's puffing as you kind of sniff the air, a thin herbal cigarette, as he's kind of walking in your direction. And as he's walking up to you guys, you can see the tall gaunt one. Excuse me, you. Where are you going? Were you here? What happened?
I heard a big machine fell out of the sky and hurt one of my boys, and now we're after him. Are you after him too?
I'm here. We're here to investigate what has occurred. The City Watch has dispatched us to come learn and get to the bottom of what's going on. We've brought our investigator, and you can see the investigator kind of looks over. He's definitely like, I don't know if you've ever seen the DC show Constantine, but very similar, right? Like that's the kind of vibe he's giving off. Just so in case you have a character reference, that's what we're looking at right now. Kind of hot, but like he's down with like he's got messy hair. It doesn't ever seem like he knows how to take a shower because his hair is always like just like he got out of bed. He looks over, and he's like, "Yeah, we've brought our investigator to get to the bottom of this. What you said, a machine fuck? That's
come
a very
come on, you greasy fuck. What the fuck's his name again? Inspector Gadget's getting away.
Inspector Gadget? You mean that loving 90s kids show or 80s
Yes.
kids show?
Yes, he destroyed everything.
Not Inspector Gadget. Quickly, why are you running this way? Can you catch us up as we kind of run along?
I mean, I'm assuming that I would see some part of like the destruction that I'm like following. I'd point to it. Look, he went this way.
Yeah. So all right. So roll. Actually, at this point, this would be a roll a. What would this be? Perception check, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
11.
All right, 11. So you're following along. So you notice like the obviously like the big explosion. Then down the alleyway, it looks like like when someone like jumps off a roof or whatever, and they're like running away really quickly. They can like bump into stuff, and so you see
Yep.
some barrels and whatever knocked over. And you come around a corner. You see a little bit more, but and you kind of follow the trail a little bit, but then it opens up into a much larger street, and so you can see a bunch of people going by. You see like carriages getting pulled by with horses, and so it's as if like like where they want to get lost in the crowd. It appears that this is what has happened. As you guys are running along, but while you guys are running along, you guys are talking. He's like, "So who did you talk to? What did you see? What happened? Can you catch me up and fill me in on all this explicit details?" And you do. As opposed to having to repeat all the details that we've learned.
Yeah.
And as you guys, and so you guys get to the crowd, and and they start like quickly asking you, like, "Hey, did you see a metal fuck? Hey, did you see a metal fuck?" And so I'll spread out a little bit. But it doesn't. It seems like the trail kind of goes cold right here, and the big kind of guy with the helmet under his head and the mohawk, he's like, "Oh, what an early night for an inferno. Look, I'm sorry for your loss. That must be tough are you the father? Are you married? Like what's going on here? I'd love to know the marital relationship between you and anyone that might be taking care of that kid that had clearly passed away." But
he's just some fuck that helped serve beers with me, but I started to love him.
That's the best thing children can do for adults. I can understand how you would fall in love so quickly. But thank you for filling us in on everything. If you folks value your safety, I suggest at this point you leave this to the professionals. The sharks will handle this. And then he like kind of pinches his nose and he looks over at and he said, "Barney, let's have you do your thing, and we'll keep the rubberneckers off your back." And so at this point, Barney, he like looks and he like you guys go off into the walk your way back to the kind of scene, and so he starts to look around and he starts like similar to where you see all the symbols of mathematics kind of going around someone's head, and it's like very meme. He's kind of doing that, but he actually seems like he's doing it okay. And he's like, "All right, let's see. The blast radius fairly localized. I sense residual arcane. This is clearly indicative of a location. You can see, yes, was there something that was dropped over in this location?" And he like points over to the barrels. Okay, yeah, I see this. Clearly, it looks like he's very much like a Sherlock. He's like, clearly this pockets have been ruffled through. All right, and then he like takes like one really long, slow drag of his herbal smoke. And he says, "Would you say that there's some sort of metal fuck that was trying to either kill or steal some sort of item from and doing this in the charge of some sort of nobles in the area?"
Holy shit! You could fucking see minds.
Okay, I think we're onto something here. Why did you guys why were you guys here in the first place? I'm just curious.
Here in Puddleopolis? Or
yeah,
on
like
the
here
street?
in this section of here in this section of the city.
You heard the Electric Mermaid open, right? That's our joint. Come fucking check it out when we get a chance.
You see him take a really long drag and finishes his herbal cigarette. He like holds it in. He lights up another one. Continues to take a puff.
Ankles
it all out.
lights it for him as he pulls it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I see. This is good information to keep in my mind palace. All right. I think we're starting to crack this case. I forget his name already. What's the main guy's? Like Sergeant Slater said. And you can tell Sergeant Slater, he looks like Christian Slater. That's his name, right? Christian Slater. He looks at him and he's like, "I think we can figure this out. I think at this point, it's good for you guys to call it quits here. If any more information comes up, they like hold out a card. You can have my card. Give us a call on phones. It's just in this world.
I just
And
think,
eventually,
one second, officer. Can I just inspect the bodies of the halflings really quickly because it looks like the machine guy took something off them. And also, what kind of families do you know actually would have access to the machine guys, or who is the merchant who sells these machine clockwork men in the
yeah,
city?
that's a really good question. You know, we've heard rumors of these these nimble rights, and what's and some of these wealthy families have been buying them up recently. Uh, there's a couple families. One, the cassette lanterns. They keep coming up in problems around the city. I don't know what they're doing or why, but there's this nimble right seems to always be at the bottom of it. Um, and we've been trying to see if we can't learn anything more about them. Again, their name is the Cassette Lanterns, and we can never tie anything directly back to them. There's no proof. Without proof, we're law-abiding citizens. We can't get a warrant. The law's messy like that, as you know, if you've ever watched Law and Order SVU. Don't get me wrong, we want to take these nasty nobles down, but we just can't do it ourselves. If you find something concrete, though, make sure to bring it right to me, and we'll make sure we can get a warrant.
Absolutely, officer. And I go in and inspect the halflings' bodies. Do we see anything like where they're from? You know, why the bot would have taken anything from them?
Yeah, so you are, as you're looking kind of on the bodies or whatever, if you recall from many months ago, there was a tattoo on some of the people that had kidnapped Rainier. Um, and it was like a dragon, a black wyvern, excuse me. It doesn't have legs. It's only got two wings for the front, with a black tail wrapped around its forearm. And you see that this gnome actually has that tattoo. So it seems as if whoever this metal man was trying to steal something from the Soggy Scrolls, one of the groups that currently seems mixed up in this overall scheme of trying to get to the bottom of the many piles and many hundreds of thousands of gold dragon pieces that have been pilfered away by the original ruler of Puddleopolis, Mr. Rainier's father, back in the day. Sorry, lots of lore. Needed to remind everyone of all the specific pieces that fell into place on that one. Okay.
Okay, I think we have enough information. Let's go break the news to the Mighty Two.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I let them know,
too soon.
guys, before we break the news, like we got him on ice, so there is still a chance for revival. So let's just say that he's in a deep sleep and he's just getting better and he's in the hospital or something, rather than freak out the kids.
Yeah. Real quick, as you guys are walking away, what's everyone? Tell me your passive perception. I know Visenya, you're 14.
12.
12.
How do you see it?
14.
Great
Left
question.
column.
Go to dndbeyond.com, and on the left side, I think
Mm-hmm.
10.
10. Did someone say
I
Bjork?
have
What did
14.
you say? 14. So Bjork and Visenya, as you guys are walking away to go tell the kids and break the news to the Magnificent Two. I didn't even think about that. You can see you do walk by the bar of the rival bar that you guys had run into with the were-rats before, and you don't really see anything. You just see that one of the curtains kind of like quickly shuts. That's in the window, and that's what you see as you guys are walking by. But you guys walk in, you tell the children about the as opposed to acting out lots of tears and doing all of that stuff,
He's
which
in
we
the
can.
care of a cleric.
Yeah. So they I think the through catching them up on everything that happened, I think the main thing that happens is Fangs, who is the shorter, kind of portly guy holding like a little stuffed owlbear. Again, he's like 6 or 7 years old, and he looks up at you all with like really, really like dewy big eyes that are just like red from tears of Squiddy not being with him anymore. He's like, you guys will bring him back, right? You promise?
Well, there's things that we can't promise, but I promise that if you two stay and work for us for free, that we will do very much to take care of him and where he's at, and then we'll do visitations and stuff like this. And just stay with us. We'll protect you as long as you give us your devotion as well as we are devoted to you.
And you could see them. They both like look at each other. Cat like symbols, does some sign language real quick, and Fangs looks back and says, "Anything for Squiddy." And the scene we quick change the scene of whatever you guys want to do next before we talk about more child labor. Let's talk about what. So we've learned a lot about this metal man. There's this new family castle lanterns.
Cassette
Apparently,
lantern.
the cassette lanterns. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So what do you guys want to do now? This is the planning is open for y'all.
Well, Angles wants to go find the CD flashlight, guys.
Yeah,
I'll go.
I want to I want to see how much money we actually have, just to see where our finances are at, just in case we need to hire some more people and maybe get an investigative team or a SWAT team to come up, or bribe the cleric to resurrect our little boy.
Roll a d20.
All right, D20.
We'll let the face decide.
All right. Oh Jesus, 5. I'm rolling so bad today.
It's not your night. Not your night, Bjork.
Yeah. So it seems that in his earnest to deliver as many drinks as possible from behind the bar during the opening night of Electric Mermaid, Squiddy, the 8-year-old that you put behind a bar, didn't understand that you need to trade drinks for valuable currency, and had just been thinking it was an open bar when one of the patrons came up to the table and asked, "This is an open bar, right?" And he said, "Of course." And so served a lot of drinks, but didn't actually take payment for a lot of them. The only payment that did happen was when Ankles was there trying to help collect things for a little bit. But Squiddy didn't actually catch the hint. He thought that Ankles was just so good at serving drinks that those were all tips for Ankles' bubbly personality. And so Squiddy then tried to emulate Ankles' bubbly personality to try and get tips the rest of the night, but for some reason wasn't getting any tips. So not too much. I would say in the rough estimate of like 350 gold as opposed to 1,000. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good enough for the moment.
All right. So you guys want to make it to?
Yeah. So as part of my background, are there any gold or shield dwarves in the city that might have a central area that I could go reach out to?
Like when you say gold or shield dwarves, like they're part of your background?
No, the race. Yeah. So as a master craftsman, I have particularly strong connections with any gold dwarves or shield dwarves, and so
okay,
if we're going to go look for these cassette lanterns or CD flashlights or whatever we're calling them these days, I figure we could use some potential allies in the city.
Okay. Yeah, so you ask around a little bit to see, or you're close to them already, so you don't even need to know. So you go and you come upon one of the golden dwarves. They hang out at this, of course, it's a tavern called the Totally Not Golden Dwarves Tavern. They're really good with the names. And yep, so you can go hang out and go meet up with them there and see what they're up to.
Good. So I go to the TNGDT, and as I as I walk inside, as I walk inside, I look around and try and appraise if there are any other craftsmen that might be present. Do I
Yeah,
see
one
anyone who seems likely?
Yeah, so there's a few folks in the bar. Obviously, the bartender in there, he's practicing sliding beers down the bar so that people can catch them, but there's no one there to catch them, so the glasses just keep falling off onto this like cushioned pillow so they don't break. There is a really old person sitting on a stool smoking a pipe right next to the fire, just muttering to himself about how his bones are never warm anymore. And then in one of the other corners, there's not as much light, so there's definitely mystery and intrigue, and you can't quite make it out. But you do see sitting on the table a craftsman's hammer and a craftsman's pair of tongs. So you assume that this person might be of the profession as you're walking up.
Hmm. Good. So I'm going to go and introduce myself to the gentleman. Is it a gentle
Yes, yes,
dwarf?
yes. As you,
man?
a gentle dwarf woman, actually, as you're walking up. But like all dwarves, big beards, so that's why, of course, you have the confusion. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
Shame
and
on Vincent.
I'm pretty sure
but
he's
she's
not
sitting
confused.
there. But she's sitting there, deep red beard, deep red long braids, showing off ample cleavage, dwarf cleavage, but it's covered by the beard, so like it's a little confusing how you know that there's ample cleavage. Sitting there nursing a very tall beer, sitting there and kind of gives you a little bit of side eye as you walk up, as if questioning why you're walking over.
Hmm. So I'm going to greet her with, I see you're also a fellow craftsman, and as any good fully gilded armor smith would, I'm going to put my signet ring down on the table next to her and take a seat.
All right, so you take your signet ring off, you place it down. She eyes you. She eyes the signet ring, and then she says, "Okay, if you're really, or excuse me, okay, if you're really a master craftsman like you say, of course you know the master craftsman's secret handshake."
Absolutely. And so, as every good dwarven trained master craftsman would know, I reach my arm behind my back, twiddle my four fingers at her, and they give a thumbs up.
She does the same in response, just like that, under the leg, and it is always good to sit and talk with a fellow craftsman. Talking with the plebes that don't know the art of metal or wood or other sorts of building. It's just like trying to lower my intelligence to that of an ant.
Hmm.
Ah, please, let's discuss much today. How can I be of
Yes,
service?
I understand the pursuit of excellence, and so
Yeah.
I'm going to engage her in small talk for a few minutes about our respective careers of choice. But then, as we've built a rapport, I'm going to turn the conversation to something much more serious and inform her that I actually could use some assistance, as there appears to be some shady elements within the city that I'm on the search for with a group of companions.
Mm. So during the small talk, you learn a little bit about her background and why she got into craftsmanship, and she niched down very hard, and so much so that but she is the best in the land at this. She puts the first stone that you put down, the cornerstone of any building. That is just her. That it's the only thing she does. She has worked herself to the point where any building that has her stone becomes a perfect 90-degree angled building, regardless of how else the builders do it otherwise. But that is what she specializes in and does. So you learn just a little bit about her this day. But as it kind of the conversation goes down and she learns a little bit more. Oh, that's terrible to hear. We had been hearing rumblings of some sort of steampunk craftsmen that have been trying to make a name for themselves in the city. These Nimblewrights. They they're people are confusing what true craftsmanship is. It isn't gizmos and gadgets and whiz bombs and whatever. It's stone. It's the metal that holds up this door. And she like pounds the door that she's sitting right next. It's the frame that holds up the second floor, and she pounds the thing, and some dust like kind of comes down a little bit. And I just pounded my desk as well to show that she really believes in the craft of woodsmanship as well. And so she's I'm very perturbed to hear this, but if we catch any information about any sort of wrongdoings that these nimble rights have come across, we'll be sure to share it with you. As far as anything else, we can help try and take down this opposing crafting gizmabob folks, because I don't like them. I don't like them one bit.
Yes. The cassettes are indeed a scourge upon the face of the planet.
The
We'll,
cassettes, you say?
I'm sorry?
The cassettes, the cassette lanterns, the CD flashlights, you say?
None other than them.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring this to my attention. Luckily for you, as you're, I'm glad that we brought this up. You know who placed the foundational cornerstone at the cassette's lantern manor? None other than yours truly. Lodestone Cornerstone Betty is my name, and Lodestone Cornerstone Betty is my game. And I do seem to recall having the blueprints for this building somewhere. And so if it can be of assistance, I'm happy to give you those. We'll have to go back to my shop and see if we can't take care of those.
Yeah, as one fellow master to another, I would appreciate this greatly for your assistance, Betty.
I think that would be great. So you guys make your way back to her place. There's a quick jaunt in the sheets for payment, of course, and then she happily gives you the blueprints. And now that's cool. I wasn't expecting that. You now have the blueprints to the cassette lantern house, so you can learn all about all the different things, which is really fun. Let me see if I have them somewhere, and if I don't have them easily accessible, I will send them across to you guys here very shortly.
Can we
yeah,
infiltrate
so,
the house, get more information, or assassinate them in revenge for our little boy Squiddy?
sorry, was that to me or was that to the team?
To the team.
Yeah.
What was the question again, Bjork?
Should we assassinate them?
Do we
I mean,
infiltrate or assassinate? Infiltrate for some more information, or just assassinate them just outright?
Infiltrate.
I'll assassinate. Oh.
we should definitely investigate. I mean, if they look criminal, then we can sick Khaleesi on them.
Yeah. So Rex, I'm going to use my right tool for the job ability to create cartographer's tools. And I'm going to study this map in depth and see if I can identify any particular weak points in the construction of the facility.
All right, I'm saving the image now so that I can show this to everyone that's also paying attention. Actually, let's see, because I want to keep the music going. So let me load this up into my media outset overlays, download.
It's fancy.
So I've sent this in Telegram for you guys to view as well.
Hold on. All I saw was Visenya's picture of Red.
Yeah. Yep. Bjork is looking good. So let me make sure this isn't giving away too many secrets. No, I think we're okay. All right. So now we have a good overview, and so we'll put this up on a post later. But this is the house of the cassette lanterns. Don't pay attention to the name of the Growlons, because it's totally not what this is. And now you guys have a nice overview. So it looks like there's 2 floors. It looks like there's like a nice open area for you to kind of come in through a main gate. It seems as if there's like an outhouse stable something looking thing on the right side. And she kind of explains to you a little bit of each of the rooms. as this goes on, which I can give a little bit of a download, at least the name of each of the room and where it associates with, so that way you guys can get a better idea at a later date. So I think it might be too hard for me to copy and paste all these things.
This indicator on the map outside of G12 and G14, is this a window on the northwest edge?
A window on G12. Yes, that would be
The exterior wall.
Yeah, that would be the exterior wall, and it has one of the what would it be? It looks like it's a fireplace. So not a window, but it's like a big fireplace. So that fireplace, I think, goes up to the second floor. Something that you could slide down.
So Obsidian turns to our resident thief, Khaleesi, says, "Have you ever heard the legend of Saint Nick?"
I have a friend. Her name's Van Ho Ho Ho. She gives great gifts.
There we go.
So I think there's a good moral that we can learn from the story of Van Ho 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 and Saint Nick, sliding down into very tight spaces.
Well then.
Am I supposed
All
to
right.
continue?
Yeah, go whatever. You guys are planning right now. This is the best part of Dungeons and Dragons, right?
So,
you guys will sit around for anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour making a plan that we throw out of the window immediately as we get into the actual situation. This is like quintessential Dungeons and Dragons.
So we're stuck.
Like, this
we're
is it.
stuck
Come
in
up with a
this?
plan. Let's do it.
We're stuck in here. Is that what I'm getting at?
No.
Yeah.
So
We're planning
yes,
an
you guys
invasion.
planning.
Okay.
We're trying to figure. You're trying to get to the bottom of this and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
You know what? I just had a great idea. What if we host like a VIP party for the houses at the election?
Hell
room,
yeah.
Magic
and then we
Eden
invite just a few of them, right?
For it.
And we'll do an open bar in memory of Squiddy, right? Or our friend. Oh no, we can do it like it's a GoFundMe event for
NFTs.
Squiddy's recovery. Yeah, we'll invite the great houses. I'll host it with the two little ones, and you guys go and infiltrate while their place while I'll have them, and we'll just invite just a few.
We'll invite my new best friend Babble the Bold or whatever his name is.
Just bring him, and maybe bring the guy that you took the cap from, right? And I had a great night with I plan to have a great night with that other socialite drawer person that I seduced. I'll invite her. She's kind of hot too, and then we'll keep them occupied here while you guys break in. What do you guys think?
I'm for it.
Brilliant idea.
Yes.
So,
All right.
Khaleesi,
Bjork, do you need any backup assistance, or will our ghostly companion at the Electric Mermaid be sufficient?
I think we're gonna be okay, but I think we need to hire some security as well, just because as we were walking by our rival bar, it looked like they were still spying on us for some reason.
We need to find
I
a
have
couple of
half a
bar
mind
backs we can
to,
see over the bar.
Yeah, go and talk with them anyways to see if we can do some kind of joint cooperation. I know that everyone wanted this bar beforehand, but I'm always up for collaboration as well. So yeah, what kind of security do you think we should get? Should we just get a whole bunch of like Rottweilers or something like that, or what do you think? Or actually hire some actual doormen? Maybe we can get the off-duty sharks to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have the little bitey shark head sticks as well. Make sure they bring those. They're very intimidating. And we need to be on the lookout because we haven't seen any signs of Giga Chad and his minions in a little while. And so I'm wondering if he might be mixed up with these seedy flashlights.
In the name of Giga Chad, he likely has his hand in everything. So let me do this. Let me go and negotiate a rate for maybe 24-hour security, and let's get the word out that let's have
Get a
this
couple
party
of bar backs who can see
tomorrow.
over the bar, please.
And yeah, and you guys go and infiltrate the place.
That sounds good.
and
I'm
then I'll try to raise as much as we can for Squiddy's resurrection.
I've always wanted to break into the fleshlight. I mean,
So
flashlight.
apparently, I know acrobats and stealth.
There you
Acrobatics,
go.
black
Uh,
flip.
Yeah, there you go. Acrobatics, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so I tell the Magnificent Two that they're supposed to collect money now. Okay, and we're gonna
Alright.
invite a whole bunch of bigwigs, and it's a 25 gold piece for the entry, and it's gonna be an open bar. We're expecting
Okay.
about maybe 25 guests or something like that, right?
All right. So like it's a smaller, more intimate affair.
Yes.
Luckily, you're able to in the time that everything's happened. There's already been the issue and write up about in Food, Wine, Blood, and More, the local vampire magazine. There's already been a good write up about the Electric Mermaid because luckily all the notes and everything were taken before the fireball happened. And the person was out of there. So that wonderful review is helping you get noticed by the nobles of the city. But yes, Van Ho, you were about to say something.
I just found up I didn't upgrade my character until now. I'm a
Oh.
climber. I gained
There it
a
is.
climb speed, and I'm a jumper. You can determine your jump distance using your dexterity rather than your strength.
Well, this
There you
is going to
go.
be good for breaking and entering.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the invites help. What I'm gonna do, because it's not just what you say is suddenly law, unlike some people sitting at this table where it actually is. We're gonna roll. Do a couple. This will be a skill challenge. See if we can't convince the nobles to want to come down and leave their manor. And you specifically care about the castle lanterns, cassette
Yes.
lanterns, excuse me. But like any person buying an NFT, you don't care about the NFT until the NFT is sold out. So you also have to impress two other noble families to see if we can pull this off. So the first thing I was going to say is invitations are important. So I think like we should do some sort of if someone wants to jump in and figure out a role for how they would do the invitations and see if we can set them off. All right.
Okay.
I'd also like to find out who is the kind of concierge of each group. I mean, they're always like a head butler, and I
Yep.
like to meet them privately and bribe them 5 gold coins and try to seduce them as well.
Okay, we can do that. Anyone else have any other ideas to make sure that these nobles
There's
show up?
There's some of these noble houses that are stuffier than others. So I would like to use my calligraphy supplies and maybe a touch of
Ooh.
arcana to make a fancy invitation.
Ooh, there we go. I like that. All right. Ankles or Obsidian or Khaleesi, is there anything you want to do to try and convince these nobles?
Is that first place where I played? What the fuck did I play? Slap? Fucking what the hell did I play?
That bar? Yeah.
When I played Ultimate Slap or whatever. Is that ultimate? Is that bar closer to their houses or further away?
Further away is what I would
Further.
say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like find the seedier places of town that they would go. You know what I mean? Like if they like to gamble or dwell in any of like the like brothels or any. I want to get some fucking dirt on somebody. You know what I mean?
You know what? Just for the without having to come up with a new name for a new place that I've already forgotten, let's just say that bar is closer than your bar is currently.
Okay.
We can make that happen.
So now with all with all my friends that I've met there through fucking playing slaps, I want to go and just grease the wheels, maybe buy some beers, get the things flowing, and just try to dig for some information and find out, like, does anybody work for them? Like, as like, deliver things, like, just get the fucking the goods,
get the dirt, get the cheese, get the cheese, man. I'm with you.
That's a great idea. And I'd like to go to the local, the highest end brothel, and also arrange for some of the ladies to actually come on that night and be companions, and I'll let them know that they can keep whatever tips they get.
Hostesses.
They prefer escorts, but yes, 100%. Okay, and then Obsidian or Khaleesi, go.
Okay, so apparently I'm from noble birth, and everybody's inclined to think the best of me. I'm always welcome in high society, and people assume that I fit right in wherever I am. The common folk make every effort to accommodate me and avoid my displeasure, and other people of high birth treat you as a member of the same social sphere, and I can secure
Just
an
like real life.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, why don't I use this? And I don't normally think of myself as in a high place above other folk, but I'm using this opportunity to get us into this building.
Mm. Maybe you could do some reconnaissance or something like that. Interesting. I like that. All right, and then Obsidian.
Yeah.
What are you
So
thinking?
I know that there are two things that draw a crowd. One is the opportunity to be first and among the elite that gets access to an invitation that other people don't. And the second
Mm.
is a crowd. A crowd draws a crowd. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my magical tinkering and I'm going to create a billboard that holds the message. Join us at the Electric Mermaid for an absolutely electrifying night, but it only appears every fifth minute for the next hour. And
Huh.
when it is off, that same billboard is just going to light up with a dull green light. And so only roughly every fifth person is going to see the billboard. So we're going to get some organic marketing that's going on through the denizens of the town as they see this.
Okay. All right, I like it. All right, so we have all of the different things that are happening. We're gonna do roles and situations for each of those. All right, so let's start off with ankles. You are whining and dining, and I think it was the something eel, the skewered eel. That's what it was called. You were whining and dining Popeye, and not totally not
Yes,
Popeye,
a
the
good.
skewered eel.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there is there anything in particular you were trying to do? Like, I guess like set the stage, set the scene a little bit, and then we can act out like a quick
Yeah, I
like
mean,
heavy roll.
like we're coming in just broing it up at first, like
Dap
point,
left and right.
yeah,
I
like pointing to all the
suppose, yeah.
people that remember me from before, like acting like I'm gonna walk up and slap Popeye, you know what I mean? Like and then start punching him on the shoulder. Yeah, yeah. And then I'm just like, so everybody at the bar, like directly at the bar, I like point like rounds on me, boys, and so I'm gonna buy like everybody at the actual bar beers. And we're just trying to lubricate things, and then we'll start sliding in little jabs about like the some of the more popular like people, and just see if it takes, like if anybody like talks any shit or jumps on like the train of like any of the people that I'm like dropping hints on, and just see if it kind of like takes me anywhere from there.
All right. So, like, what's one of the things that you would like say
So
that would like try and be a hint? Yeah.
yeah. So let's see. So maybe maybe we invited the so and so's to come to our party at the Electric Seahorse, and those snooty fucks weren't interested. Can you believe some of these fucking guys? And then I'll go through like kind of the list and be like, well, what do you think about what them? Because we're thinking about approaching them. Are they okay people? Like, just trying to like pulse check everybody.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, those cassette lanterns. They're the worst to work for. I had to go in there and I had to go clean up a bunch of stuff in their cellar. It was the worst. The way that they had this a cellar that had this like basically the way that they actually have indoor plumbing in this household, and it is gross. And it is. I had to clean it out one day, and let me tell you, the poor and the rich shit the same, man. And it is gross, no way shakes about it. But yeah, it was really interesting because like we were able to scrape and clean it all out, and it came out to this kind of dark back alley that and runs right down to this kind of sewers of Puddleopolis. So kind of like as we know, the shit rolls downhill. That was kind of what was happening there. Those fucking nobles and their fucking noble.
So a real
fucking
shithole
asses.
down there. Do you know any? Do you have
Yeah.
any friends that still work there? I feel bad for them. Maybe I should buy
Nah,
them
it
some
was
drinks.
yeah. They call us in on a quarterly basis to kind of clean it out, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, it was that cellar, that
Ah.
entrance to the cellar was just ugh.
I don't mean to
So
bring
you
you
what?
back into some shit. Let's get back into drinking, my friend, and Prost, and then
Yeah.
fucking, you know.
Woo! Yeah, and
Yeah.
then a little bit later, you slip something out, and there's a family called the backwashers, and this guy, "Ugh, those fucking backwashers and their stupid ass motto: ride the rip or sink the rest." Ugh, fucking hate those guys. They are if they show up in this bar, I'd knock them right out right here. And he's like, you
Oh.
can see his like lids are like fluttering or whatever. Yeah, they hired me to put in a banister in their house one day. Don't they know I'm not a master craftsman? I have no love for the actual craft. I'm just there to make a quick coin. But while I was in there, I overheard a couple of the nobles talking about how they think that they're better than the castle lanterns. The other shit for brains. So it's probably best if you could pit those folks against each other in some way or make them feel like one's less than. It might get the other one to do something you like.
Oh, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent, my friend. This guy definitely gets some extra drinks. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got to take these fucks down a notch.
All right.
Let's see.
Perfect.
So
I think
do they? I want to ask him like a little bit about the family because you know when you mentioned like pitting them against each other, like, oh, do you know who all like? Do they have any like young whippersnapper children that like to get in any fucking trouble?
yeah. So roll a investigation check, and we'll see
Okay.
how drunk these people are and if they remember this or not. 'Cause
15.
I think we could. 15. Yeah. The castle lanterns. They had two little kids. I don't know if they get into too much trouble, but I know that they care about them a whole lot. They were stuck upstairs in their bedrooms the whole time, and they wouldn't let me near them. That was not that I try and like diddle kids or anything, man. All right, don't get your mind all weird.
Whoa,
I was just-
not
yeah, I
that
got a
young,
family
not
of my
that
own.
young. What
Alright,
about teenagers?
And then the other guy steps in. He's like, "Oh yeah, the backwashers. Is that what they were called? I don't remember
Yes.
the name already. The backwashers. Yeah. The teen son that they have. His name is Riddle. He really rides that rip. Oh, it's such a dumb fucking name. You can find him down here sometimes. He's always trying to pretend that he's not one of the rich ones, but you can tell. You can just tell by the way that they walk, the way they fucking walk. I just want to punch him right in the face, that Riddle. But yeah, he comes down here sometimes, always trying to pick up a loose lady or a loose man. However, whatever his whims feel like that night, it always seems like he's trying just to get to take advantage of one of us. You know, me, like you make me and then me, take advantage of us because we're brothers, right? Yeah, that happens
Wah
sometimes.
woo wee woo.
Yeah.
Well, I have
I love you, man. I fucking love you.
Dude, I fucking love you, man. All right, we got something to derail them. I have a perfect couple ladies lined up.
All right, perfect. We can do that. All right, and so that's good. All right, so we'll cut next to Visenya, who's using calligraphy and arcane to do a little bit of making of some of these invitations.
Little something flashy.
And so talk a little bit about what you want us to make it look like, and then also roll with advantage because you actually have calligraphy tools. That's crazy.
I do, and I've got
I
Arcana
know.
as the skill, so
I
it's gonna
know.
be good. I'm thinking,
Yes.
like low key flashy. They're gonna notice that the paper is super nice. The ink that shifts colors between their favorite colors. It's gonna be,
Ooh.
it's
Piece
gonna
of Frank,
be.
bitch.
Do you have
Yeah,
like
there's
one of
gonna
those?
be a dolphin. There's
Do you have, like,
definitely gonna be a dolphin.
A
One of those
seahorse.
pins that has like the 9 different colors on the tip, and you can just switch out the colors by just like pushing
Yeah,
down the
but
little
yeah,
like
it's just
levers at
that-
the top.
That is a fantasy calligraphy kit. That's all
Yeah.
it is, actually.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
just all
that
in
thing.
one. And it's gonna be like their family colors and all that stuff.
Okay.
All right,
So
let's see
writing
what
these
this Arcana roll
invitations.
throws.
All right, roll with advantage. Let's see what we get. An 8
Yeah, I rolled
and
a 2.
But you get to roll with advantage, so you get to roll once more.
One more.
Okay, good, because that was awful.
Yeah. Come on,
That's
big
more like
money.
it. That was a 9.
15.
That's
All
better.
right, it's passable. It's passable.
Yeah.
It's almost as if you got these professionally printed. Nice, well done.
Yeah, that's nice.
You definitely checked out vistaprint.com. Definitely not a sponsor of the show. You want to be sponsor of
Yeah,
the
but
show?
I paid
I would
for
be
them.
totally
They
cool.
weren't a free print.
Yeah. It was definitely a paid print. Good cardstock. And so, all right, so we got some good invitations now with little clip outs of the article, just so that they know that this is Hot to Trot little spot. All right, so then Obsidian, you were gonna make this billboard to try and create some intrigue and whatnot, and you've already explained what you're putting together, which is really, really nice. So I think at this point, roll. There's not like a building roll. Roll with dexterity, because I feel like this is a dexterous thing. Yes, with advantage though, because you're using your the skills that you have as a master craftsman. Yeah.
Indeed, a 12.
A 12. Okay, with advantage. It works. Wait. Oh yeah, 12 and then 11. It works. But as opposed to like 1 minute every 5 minutes, the arcane part flickers out a little bit sometimes. So it's not like a perfect. Sometimes it's just a blank wall. But you get it up there, and it's doing what you want. It's just not exactly the way that you had talked about it. So it's getting mostly there. It's like, sometimes like when you see one of the billboards, but like one of the light bars is off, so it's like kind of dark in one section. It's kind of like that. Like, it's like it may say like laundromat, but it like some of the letters are out, and it says like penis or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it's kind of like that. Yeah, thanks. Laundromat definitely has all the words for penis
Flashlight. What?
in it.
Some people just looking
That
for
E
electric
sometimes
maids,
turns
not
into
mermaids. But that's all
the
right.
A's and E's.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, perfect. And then Bjork, you were going to try and bribe the
Bribe and seduce.
the head butlers of these individual places. Just for the sake of not having to do it 3 different times, let's just say you rolled up to the third family. The grunge mouths. Their motto being "Scream loud, sing proud." If you wanted to try and seduce / bribe their head butler, you like walk up to their estate to try and see what you can do.
All right. Can I use my persuasion?
Yeah, so you walk up, you like, there's a bell on the gate, and the head butler kind of walks out, and he's like, what are you doing here, sir? What brings you to the lovely, I already forgot their name, the lovely Grungemouth estate on a day like today?
Well, I just wanted to meet you, good sir. If you don't know, I'm actually quite the famous singer out here in Puddleopolis, and I wanted to personally see what we could do to get your family to come and represent at a very special function for the tragedy that we just had very recently. It's a fundraiser, but all the other great families will be coming. We've already have 5 or 6 actually already confirmed, but we're keeping it very, very boutique and very elite. So we're just taking on a few families for this particular round, but I know that a man of your influence has over family affairs, and I wanted to see if we could work out some of your influence for me meeting you first and letting you know that it is going to be a safe, secure place and a very fun place where there will be a lot of social networking going on.
And he like internalizes. So first and foremost, that I could never just send my family somewhere. And you hand over the invitation, and he looks at the invitation now, and he actually sees like the color swirls and the family crest and all of that kind of stuff. So it's actually like quite nice and quite interesting. And he can tell there's this air of professionalism around this. And he says, and what other families did you say would be there, good sir?
Oh, I cannot disclose at this moment because that would be very unprofessional. Just like
And
we would never disclose.
You could see like a happy nod going through him as he says this out loud. It was a test that you just passed.
Yes. But I can assure you that it would be only elite families as yourselves. If you can see the amount of work, and even these invitations themselves cost many gold pieces that, we would not just simply hand them out as if they were a flyer. But more to the point, we want to develop a long-term relationship with each of these families, and especially with their staff. And for the decision makers, the true decision makers that we know are people like yourselves.
Yeah, of course. I could just hand over the invitation and see if it lands in the lap of someone of import in the household. But I could also make sure that it lands directly on the dinner plate of the head of the household, and put a special hint that this is the want to do about town for a little something extra, to make sure
Oh,
the right
yes.
person gets this.
Well, part of building a relationship is ensuring that everyone is incentivized properly. So, I cannot offer you anything so direct. That would be so crass and rude. But I think that, actually, I did see something on the way as I was coming up to the gate. And I saw these 5 gold coins that were just lying there. And I just assumed that someone must have dropped it. I just wanted to return to sender as well. And I just wanted to bring this up to you just at this moment.
Roll persuasion with advantage. I think that's the time to do that.
19.
19 with advantage though, so roll it one more time. You might get you have a +9 to persuasion. You only rolled a 10.
15.
Ridiculous.
I'm,
All right.
I'm fucking
Yeah,
so
no.
hot.
There we
Above
go.
average.
Fucking so hot.
Yeah. You can see him. He takes the he holds out the envelope to put so that you can put the gold coins, and he's like, "Of course, I will." And he licks it and shuts it. We'll return to sender, and he opens up his butler jacket like every butler wears and puts it inside. Of course, of course. And I will make sure the right person gets the invitation, and I'll put it in the right ears and push the right buttons to make sure we can get someone in attendance.
And
I
that's
appreciate your
like,
time.
oh, but one last thing is that,
Yes.
for your great service, just so you know that there are also additional bonuses that come with this, like a private audience with yours truly. And I kind of walk up to him very slowly and seductively, and I just put my hand over his lapel, and I give him just kind of breathe on him a little bit, like,
as the camera pans away, you see the butler's face completely in shock and awe. He hasn't thought about taking care of himself in a very long time, but in this moment, it's the only thing he can think about taking care of. That and Bjork. As the camera pans away, and we cut over to Khaleesi.
Oh no.
Khaleesi, what? So you are trying to catch audience with some of these nobles. Are you doing
Yes.
anything in particular? Are you trying to like scout out the do reconnaissance on
At the same
the
time, yes. So I'm doing
okay
both. So I'm trying to persuade them with my noble
okay
status. I have nice clothes in my backpack
good. All right,
and my
put those on.
jewelry. I brought my jewelry
Okay,
because apparently
put the
that's
jewelry on.
high status.
Okay, so you're able to, luckily, as you kind of walk up, do you have anyone from the party in tow as part of your like? Because if you just roll up and you're just like, I'm a noble, no one necessarily believes that. But maybe if you have like a person with a Yeti feather hat or something like in the background, that could be part of your retinue.
Yes, yes. So
Entourage.
I have Obsidian
Entourage.
with his fancy macaroni hat.
Yeah.
And so
Wait.
my family is very noble. So I'm going in with the accent, y'all. Not this one though.
Okay. y'all, that's so weird
Y'all.
because y'all
Yeah.
screams royalty to me. That's so wild.
Khaleesi's
Like,
getting raided.
Oh, thanks for rating, guys. This is my
hey.
NXG family.
All
They're
right,
amazing.
nice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys for jumping in here. You guys just stepping into the middle of some Dungeons and Dragons, so be ready to
Dungeons
have a
and
lot of fun.
Degens.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so you guys, does anyone else want to join the entourage to make this thing look official? You don't have to. Just curious.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't.
All
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna
Let me
say
get
I
my
don't think
stick.
I don't think ankles is the right vibe for the goal here. You know,
No,
maybe
Yeah,
his
fair enough,
brother.
fair enough.
Maybe that's where my brother is. Maybe my brother is getting prepped and ready to go do this.
Can I get
That's
your
right.
butt
That's
hat?
right. That's probably what it's. All right. So all right. So you make your way, of course, because you're a noble and you give off nobility, the airs of nobility, y'all. You make your way through the front gate, and so at this point, I think it's helpful to discuss. We can go through a little bit as you're kind of brought through what you guys are looking at on this map. So, so you don't get too far. So, of course, you come to the main grounds as you kind of walk through the front gate, and you see several large trees. You see two well-worn footpaths. You see a two-story brick mansion with a detached coach house outside, of course. Who has a real garage when you can have a detached garage? Ugh, I don't hang out with peasants. And so you see as you're walking through, you do see that on the property as you're walking up, there are some guards, not like guards, but you can see like people about. And so there's like a gardener about. You can see there's like someone who like sits and watches to make sure if anyone's coming to the gate, they can like go and open the gate for them to let them in and that kind of stuff. So you do see like there are people here. It's a somewhat busy. Granted, it's daytime, right? And people are out and about to try and take care of the house. The estate very well tended. You see lots of large trees that provide a lot of great shade. You can see as you're walking up, you see a balcony through the trees. Let me see, 20 feet above the ground. And if you wanted to, scaling the mansion's brick walls seems like there's like, vines that kind of go up right next to it. Very Romeo and
Is it
Juliet.
something that baby climbed by a small animal with thumbs and no shame?
You would have to roll for it, but yes, it would probably be with advantage. And then outside, you can see the coach house. You hear like as like horses are like neighing and stuff like that. You see a small barracks. So you actually see there is a small barracks for guards. You only see one person sitting outside it right now, but you do see guards there. And then you walk into kind of the front foyer. And inside the front foyer, the Great Hall, if you will, you see lots of tapestries, you see chairs, you see a bright chandelier, you see a lot of authenticity, you see a lot of things, and then two small children, one that looks to be about 4, one that looks to be about 6. It's a girl and a boy. The girl's dressed in this like small yellow dress. The boy is like wearing like some fineries. It's like more of a light blue with one of those little like those like really frumpy bow ties that's like too big for like a human, like a tall human male, but also like a little just fluffy. It looks extra large on a kid. They run by as they're like laughing and giggling and going to play. And following them out, you see a wife and a husband, which you can assume are the castle lanterns that walk out and begin. Oh, we didn't. Sorry for the mess. It's just we need to get our cleaners in here. And as you look around, there's absolutely no mess. This is like 100% nobles being nobles. As you walk in, but we weren't expecting any guests. This is such just a surprise visit. So we're sorry that you caught us. It's please, Gerald, if you could make us some drinks for the visitors, that would be wonderful. And make sure to bring some of those freshly baked chocolate chip cookies that we just made for the children. If you could bring those out. Ah, yes, and this is the wife, of course, saying everything. Yes, but no, thank you. What brought you here on a day like today? Out of curiosity, whatever brings you visiting our lovely and just humble, oh so humble abode?
What are we doing again? We're breaking in, right?
We're scoping the place, but inviting them to the party.
Oh, okay.
They definitely don't overhear you whisper that, so their perception is not that good.
That was on the way in.
That was the sidebar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, okay then, I'm just letting them know then. Like, we're having a wonderful party, but we wanted to come invite you. We've heard wonderful things about this mansion. And I come from a very noble bloodline and nothing but beautiful houses. Would you please give us a tour of your lovely home, because it smells like fresh baked cookies and it's just giving such a homely vibe.
A tour of the house. We have the house in quite a state of disarray right now, and I would just it would I
Oh,
would be
please.
aghast if
We
you had to
came
see
all
something
this
in this
way.
state and horror. Oh well, thank you, and I appreciate it. And first, let's talk about a little bit about this party you mentioned. You're inviting us to a party. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Did she put up a fight?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is there an electric light? Yeah. Tell me about this party. I'm very intrigued.
I have extra copies of the invitations, so
Ooh, all right.
there we go.
Bow and hand it over. Oh, I see. Oh, so sorry to hear about your dear Squiddy. You know, something that was always top of mind for us is our children, and I couldn't imagine if one of our children had bit the dust in such a way. And one of the other things that we love oh so dearly as nobles and highborn is rubbing in in other noble highborn faces how much we can charitably donate. So of course we'll be in attendance to make sure that we can donate as much as possible. And this is a some sort of loud auction, so we can be very vocal about how much more we're giving than our noble brethren. Is that
Absolutely.
something that is? Okay. That sounds perfect. But yes, that sounds like something that we would love to attend to. When is this party? When is this happening?
Tuesday.
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Perfect. I actually had something blocked off for Tuesday, so Monday actually works a lot better. And of course, I trust the noble-born person here as opposed to the manservant or woman servant that's sitting next to you. Yeah.
That's my bodyguard.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Of course. We have many ourselves. So yes, we will join you next Monday evening. And again, for the house tour, let's have this party first before we truly show you around and give us a chance to clean up and make sure everything is in ample working order before we have more people come through. But thank you so much for stopping by today. And wait, we didn't even do any rolls, but that was so good anyway. Well done. Shit. All right, it happened. All right, well done. Successful roll. And that is it. So you guys have some more information. You guys have prepared. It seems as if some nobles are going to show up for this party. Do you guys want to do any last things, any last plans, any last ideas?
Well, the
I
thing
just had an idea about the necklace, but that can wait for now.
Oh.
So what Ankles was going to do is Ankles was either going to hire a guy that looks like he's from the other family, or he was going to get dressed up in the tunic of the other family, and I was going to beat the fuck out of I was going to purposely pick a fight with Riddle.
Okay. All right. So let's I fucking love this. All right. So you're at the bar one night during this week that we're going into this thing, and you hear a crash of the door open. You see his hair is like up and to the front. It's kind of like cut. He looks like he would be a star on TikTok if you hated everyone that was a star on TikTok. And he kind of like walks in. He thinks he's better than everyone else. He kind of walks in with a hoity-toity idea of himself, and he like sits down. He tries to start hitting on some of the girls in the bar, and some of the boys in the bar he's hitting on too. He's like, he doesn't care as long as he can pretend that he like is better than them, and that's how like the situation unfolds. And so that's what you see one night as you're waiting at the skewered eel for this guy to walk in.
So Ankles has bought a tunic to match the the tunic of what they wear. Of course, it has a cassette on one shoulder and a lantern on the other. And so he's made sure that he knew he was going to come in, so he's got like a bunch of women all gathered around him, like already he's talking to. He's been tipping or whatever to make sure that they're paying attention to him. And whenever he sees Riddle started getting some attention, he's like, this place isn't for you, you fuck. What the fuck is the name of they're the backwashers?
The backwaters? Yeah, backwashers.
Yeah, we don't take any backwashers here. And he like shoots back the rest of his drink. And then spits in it and slides that down to him. Get the fuck out of here and take that with you.
Ugh. Of course, a typical cassette lantern pulling this kind of hootenanny at a bar like this. Ugh. I just came in here just to see what it's like to be poor. I can't believe I'd find you in a poor spot like this. Ugh. I can't believe. Ladies and my gents,
poor.
Out of here.
I won't even be in this shithole next week. I've already been invited to Electric Mermaid. Unlike you piece of shit.
Electric, and he like stops. Electric Mermaid, the number one new bar by Food, Wine, Blood, and More. What you talking about? You have the invite already? I heard the
Show it
waiting list
harder.
on that location was at least 3 months out. How do you have an invite?
Fuck. Angles fumbles the bag. he just simply says, because, and he points to the lantern on one side and he points to the cassette on the other. He's like, obviously, my bloodline is why.
When in doubt,
Maybe-
kiss your biceps.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting to hear. But maybe the electric mermaid's not all it's cracked up to be if they're letting pores in there. And he like turns on his heel and walks out. But you can tell you got through. You can tell that something in there is clicked, and this person is now hooked, line, and sinkered. To get
In the
back
third act,
watch
he's
of
going
the
to
show.
challenge you to a ski race.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll meet you on the slopes.
The
Yeah.
slopes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I could just get in a fist fight with him before we actually have to do that challenge.
All right.
Could
All
be a
right. So
montage.
as yeah, I know it'd be a good one. So all right. So as we are setting the stage for a wonderful party evening for a potential break-in and heist attempt of some sort to try and get back and figure out what's going on with the castle lanterns, the camera pans up to the city of Puddleopolis, where it's constantly drizzling, wet, hot, and slick like always. As you see a little symbol in the bottom right start to twirl, as quick save is coming to an end for this night's or day's session, depending on where you are in the world. We will be back next week. Same time, same place, online, checking things out, making mockeries and fools of ourselves. Thank you all for doing this. This is a lot of fun. I'm excited to set up for what's happening next week. And hot,
Annie.
slick. Yeah. Any last things or anything you guys want to say before we go?
Great session, guys.
Thanks for
Very
being
fun.
back.
This was very fun.
Anho, thanks for
I
being
know,
back.
I really missed
Love
you guys
the
last
fancy
week.
butt feather hat so much.
Yes. Yeti feather.
Macaroni.
All right. Well, thank you all out there on the internet. We love you all each individually and equally, unlike my children. We'll catch you all next week. Talk soon. Bye.
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 Oh, bye, Steph. Oh.
We are off the air. All right.
All right.
We made
Perfect.
it.
All right. Great
Success.
session.
We
Thanks,
did
friends.
it.
All right, let me check the recordings. All right, everyone, Obsidian, you're at 95%, but everyone else is good. I'm only at 39%. What's going
What
on in my
the
world?
The
What?
hell?
I know.
What the
I
hell?
know.
That's what happens when you live in
but yeah,
paradise. You gotta pay for it somewhere.
It's always drawbacks. But thank you guys. That was fun. I appreciate you guys walking through and doing that with us. This is a quick check-in. How's everyone feeling? How's
Tired.
everyone doing? You don't? Yeah, I know.
A little
Tired.
sleepy, but great.
Yeah,
But,
I
like-
was pretty late.
Yeah. But if you guys like have any feedback for me, or if you have thoughts about the show, or if you have whatever, let me know.
You
This is
killing
your-
it. What do you?
this
What
is
else
your-
do you want to
Yeah.
know? I
Yeah, you're the
crack up
best.
every week
Thank
at
you.
this shit.
Yeah.
You put
Well, thank you.
the intros is killer. Like I
Love
just
the intros.
every week. And then you were like,
Gotta
and
get
I
'em hooked.
practice my voices. I was like, he fucking does. He practices this before.
Yeah, Shelby is not a fan of all of my voices. She's like, I love you, and I think you're a very attractive person, except for the 3 hours a week that you play Dungeons and Dragons and practice your voice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very fair. It's very fair. Yeah.
Oh,
At least,
no,
at least I know where I stand.
Your
Yeah.
Swedish Irish guy was pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
gotta
was
Okay,
run,
cracking
but
up.
have a great week, guys.
Have a good week.
yeah, we'll talk soon. All
See you,
right.
Shinzen.
All
Ciao.
right, my friends.
See you guys
See you,
Bye.
Boo.
later. Bye.
All right, Annie.
I love them. They're so great. Yeah, guys. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed, but I hope everybody has a good night. GMGAGN WTF I don't know. I'll be back tomorrow as always. I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. I should probably look while I'm thinking about it. I've got. Let's find out. A meeting. Gag me in a game night that I forgot about. I'm gonna have to do both at the same time. And then King Snooch Spaces, and then another meeting. So, not a really busy day. Also, do interning for a little bit today. I fucked up today. I was trying to reply to a comment and I said enjoy. I'm pretty sure it was to coffee because I only comment to coffee like that on their account. And so I wrote enjoy, and then instead of it posting on the comment, it posted as a post. And so all the there were members in the Discord like, what does enjoy mean? You're toying with our emotions. I was like, y'all are too serious. It was an accident by the intern. I did it. My bad. So that's real cool. Thankfully, nobody said anything to me yet. I don't think they care. I've done it on accident before where I had posted just a picture of a cat. I posted a picture of a cat on the wall. Oh my god, this Twitter page has like 200,000 followers. So whoop. So yeah. Anyways, that's my day. I've got to go. I'm so tired. It's 10:20. I'm going to go crawl into bed. Normally I would stay up like till 1 playing gaming with you guys, but I've been on this for 2 hours. I was on it for like 2 before that, and yeah, girl, need to get some rest. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Thank you for watching, commenting, re-sharing, anything like that. I appreciate it more than you know.